in a moment. But let me introduce our panel right now. Otis Sanford is ABC24 political analyst, and Chris Tudor is a former chairman of the Shelby County GOP party, as well as an attorney with Butler Stone. All right, very good. Let's dive into the Elon Musk situation first. A controversial name, Otis, we know that. He's put himself in that situation, but he has worked, this supercomputer that has been named Colossal is an absolute feat in humanity, if you believe half of what has been reported, but it is amazing how fast this thing has come online, and he's still going at warp speed. That's why he wants these acres that he's bought to produce and make this huge wastewater facility that will actually take our sewage water, run it through filters and everything else, treat it so that it's able to cool things down on its, for a supercomputer, as well as for the TVA, as well as for new core steel, and save us having to take millions of gallons a day from our aquifer to cool down his facility. And I will add, he hasn't asked for a single tax break. He hasn't asked for a pilot. Those kinds of things are on the good side, but of course on the negative side, lots of doubt and skepticism about what this really means for the community, specifically the neighbors who live nearby. What are your thoughts?
Well, there's so much to unpack here. Let's look at the financial part of this first. This is a good thing. That he's not asking for any tax breaks, no pilots here, that he is building this gray water facility on his own dime, and that's what, almost $80 million or something to that nature, that others will be able to use. That's a good thing. He's leasing some property for some solar farm, that will help reduce the need for electricity from the MLGW. All of those are good things. And yet, even with that, though, I do think that the city council and any other oversight group or people should make sure that they are keeping close oversight of what's going on here. You know, a lot of people, the public really doesn't know anything about what's going on here. They were not involved or not even told when it started. It came out of the blue almost. And so I do expect the city council, which had some skepticism the other day when the xAI person came to the meeting, they need to continue to have at least as much oversight as they possibly can. But there's, to me, a little less to be worried about the operation here in Memphis right now than there were, say, in July of 2024.
I have to say, having the representative finally go before the city council, I think really mended a lot of fences, because there had been this, who is, you know, just was this abstract thing. We know who's at the top, but certainly somebody underneath Elon is running the show in Memphis. And for him to actually get before the council, address their concerns, seemed like that was overdue, and hopefully that will happen more often.
Yeah, I completely agree with that analysis. I mean, when this was brought up, there were some council people, including the folks who represented that district, who voiced their concerns. And it sounds like that those concerns were addressed. They investigated. The gentleman came before the council, and it was a 12-0 vote. So I think the process is actually working. And look, a lot of times it's easy for me to get up here and criticize our leaders. I actually think this is an example where they've done an excellent job. The speed in which it's been done, and at the accountability. And you brought up a good point too. Most of the time when folks come to Memphis, they're asking for something, right? They're asking for a tax break or something. They haven't asked for any of that. And they're building a gray water plant that I believe was proposed several years ago that we already need.
Been trying to get for a long time.
For new core. I mean, sometimes I think, and you touched on this before, Richard, we're so defeatist in this town. I'm old enough to remember the signs against the Grizzlies. Right? I mean, that's an easy example. That's an easy example.
That's a very easy one.
And we're so used to, maybe recently, we're so used to all these L's that we can't recognize the dub when we get it. And this is a dub. And again, we've got to maintain oversight. That's important. But I think the council's doing that. I think they're being rigorous. I think this is a big win. I think this is great.
I don't disagree with that at all. I think we're on the same page here. I think it's a win. Although there are others who are saying, well, what exactly is xAI going to be used for? Is it, and they tie Elon Musk into it now, because he has this broad oversight of federal government. He's almost like a quasi-president here, and he's getting his hands on information.
Yeah.
So the question now is, well, are you using this information, putting it into xAI to spy on people and find out about stuff? I don't know about any of that. That's
Not much the city council
conspiracy.
can do about it if he is.
Well, that's right, and it's conspiracy anyway.
Right.
As long
that's
as
out there.
as long as Skynet is not about to become self-aware, I think I'm okay. I think I'm okay.
Well, let me ask you about this little, during the city council meeting, there were several council members who just brought up the obvious, and that is, your boss, to the xAI guy, your boss is somewhat controversial. We know who he's working for. We know whose side he's on, et cetera, et cetera. Specifically, Yolanda Cooper Sutton,
Right.
the city councilwoman, and she was getting a little more vocal about it, and J.B. Smiley had her mic cut off.
Right.
I don't know. What are your thoughts about that?
Oh, I had a problem with that. Whether you agree with Yolanda Cooper Sutton or not, she had a right to say what she needed to say in that setting. She is an elected representative, and presumably she's representing some of her constituents when she says, yeah, your boss has said something, and he has. He says some things, he's done some things, and now he's doing some things that people don't like. And I thought it was totally inappropriate for the chairman of the city council, J.B. Smiley, to just cut off her mic like that. That's abridging her freedom of speech in my mind.
I think Chairman Smiley was trying to implement the adage, don't look a gift horse in the mouth, but I agree with you. She's a representative of the people. She has a right to speak her mind, but I do want to be careful. I've noticed this even in the comments on the articles on your esteemed paper, where people are conflating two issues, which is this project good for the people of Memphis, and do I like Elon Musk's politics? Mm-hmm. Those are separate questions, and those are both legitimate questions.
It is.
But they're separate questions, so.
Yeah, I agree. And I wrote a column last year once this first came about where I said that you don't have to like Elon Musk's political views, and I certainly don't. Yeah. But let's separate that out from whether this is a good thing from a public policy standpoint for Memphis. Even though there's not a lot of employment involved with this, we're not losing any money on this. We're gaining.
And the personal property taxes.
Right.
Yeah, and I think, look, I think you would see it on the right, too, if there was a boogeyman on the right like George Soros or something. But at the end of the day, we're having the world's richest man, one of the world's most innovative men, who also happens to now be one of the world's most powerful people, see Memphis, want to be here, investing in, again, accountability is important. I'm excited. Who knows what this could bring?
I'm not as excited, but it's a good thing for Memphis until we.
You're worried about Skynet. You're worried about Skynet becoming self-aware. I kind of am. Watch too much Terminator. I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm sorry.
And the Tesla's all losing control.
That's right.
Whatever
That's
that
exactly
is
right.
when the Teslas go crazy. One more quick thing that happened this week is a video was made public where Elon Musk and his top engineers on this project are talking to shareholders. And he actually, for the first time, talked about why Memphis and all the different details of how they've had to get this thing online so quickly. And it really is amazing. And I'm sure, of course he's going to brag about it and pat himself on the back.
Right.
But no one can dispute the speed at which this has gotten online and all to compete in a global, the competition with China and the other countries that are on the forefront of AI. He's like, we don't have a choice.
No question about it. I mean, let's be honest here. xAI is here. Artificial intelligence is here.
Yep.
I listen to a commercial all the time on Sirius Satellite where it says it's storming every industry. And it's true. It's true. You can't do anything these days without some form of artificial intelligence.
They're going to replace me soon enough. No more lawyers.
Well,
it's going to be
I
the
hope
robots. I hope so.
And no more anchors too, I hear. So.
Shout out to Mayor Young, to Ted Townsend and the City Council. I mean, this has been so quick. It's good.
Plus the mayor and Ted Townsend and McGowan to some degree, they have insisted on Memphis getting things that it needed out of this and not giving away the farm like we have done in the past.
Exactly.
So I agree with that.
All right.